Thousands of fans have crowded into the Hockenheim Motordrome for the start of the season. They've been waiting patiently, with questions on their mind. Can this man, Klaus Ludwig, repeat as German touring car champion, even though he's changed from Mercedes to Opel? Will he even be competitive? The fans wonder if a new generation of young driver can challenge the series veterans. How about Dario Franchitti from Scotland? Or Jan Magnussen from Denmark? And what about Giancarlo Fisichella from Italy? Then there are the fans ready to cheer for newcomer Michele Alboreto, who joins the series from Formula One. This is the German Touring Car Championship. Today, coming to you from the short course of Hockenheim Motordrome in Hockenheim, Germany. Hello everyone, welcome to the German Touring Car Championship. I'm Milt Fitzwater. First race of the season, and already the top 11 cars are all within tenths of a second of each other in qualifying. Promises to be some tight racing. Add to that the fact that there are a number of young drivers ready to challenge the veterans, and it promises to be a great afternoon of racing. And that action is about to get underway. And there they are, the 27 cars which will be starting the first race of the season. The battle between Mercedes, Opel, and Alfa Romeo is about to be resumed for the third year in a row.
I think it was not a long wind, it was a short wind. It was a little bit too short. But we are almost ready with the new cars. We are quite satisfied. I think the mechanics did just a fantastic job. They worked day and night for 48 hours and was really a big job they had to do, but they managed it. And we have 6 new cars.
Well, last year was our learning year, and I think we learned a lot, and we increased our effort. We have now doubled the team. We have now 6 cars here. We have the new team from Keke Rosberg with Klaus Ludwig. So we put a lot of effort in, and of course there is a lot of pressure, but we are quite optimistic.
Really, it's possible. Alfa Romeo have put too much technology, and now it's difficult. All things work perfect.
The qualifying for the first race of the season was tight, and it produced a major surprise. On the front row, series newcomer Dario Franchitti in an AMG Mercedes, and right next to him his teammate, Bernd Schneider. Now, Franchitti surprised everyone when he pushed his Mercedes to the fastest speed of the day, 96.57 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big surprise for me and everybody here, really. I expected to be maybe in the top 5, but to get pole, I had a little bit of luck involved, but it's a very good feeling.
Bernd Schneider qualified his Mercedes at 96.55 miles an hour. After a tough year last year, it's not a bad way to start the season.
Yeah, not so bad. Before the breakfast, I was thinking there was a possibility to make pole position, but Dario Franchitti did a very good job, and he beat me with 1/100 of a tenth. Okay, this happens, but today is a very long race, and you will see afterwards.
On the second row, Jörg van Omen in a Zack-Speed Mercedes. Van Omen was second in the championship last season, and next to him, Manuel Reuter in a Joest Team Opel. Moving to the third row, Keke Rosberg in the Opel of his own team, and next to him another newcomer, Giancarlo Fisichella in an Alfa Romeo. It's a warm day here at Hockenheim. This means that once again this short course will be tough on tires.
It's a track on which we had good results last year. So we hope, and we had good hopes to have a very good result today. We will see after 30 laps.
The last 4 years, the tires were the major factor here to decide the race. Even if you remember 92, 93 and 94, many cars were in tire trouble in the last few laps. So definitely the tire will decide the race here.
This is actually a year of transition for the series as it continues to spread internationally.
This winter was a long winter. It was a winter with a lot of discussion, a lot of meetings, how it goes in future with the DTM. And I think in the moment we can look in a very, very good season and in a very, very good future. We had a lot of discussion with the FIA, with the World Motorsport Council. And in the moment it looks that the internationalisierung, it's okay for them and for us.
Alfrecht and the rest of the series officials have guided the series to a point where more and more top drivers dot the field. But there's still more to the dream.
You know that my dream is that we have a season like the NASCAR series in the United States, and we are very near now.
They'll be running on that red circuit, which is the short course here at Hockenheim. You can see the Grand Prix course that they run later in the year. Christian Donner knows this circuit well.
Well, it's just one permanent ongoing corner. There's just a little piece of straight, and all the rest of it is one big corner, you know, a kind of a combination of corners, obviously, and this is why it's so hard for the tires.
And when you want to pass, where would you find the best place to pass?
To be very honest with you, nowhere. Yeah, it's hard.
The pace lap continues here at Hockenheim. Back in the field is defending German touring car champion Klaus Ludwig. In fact, he's a three-time champion, but this year he's driving an Opel instead of a Mercedes.
My goal for today is to finish both races, and that's more than we expect.
We'll find out as we're about to get underway. First race of the season. Franchetti on the left, Bernd Schneider on the right. It's green. The season is underway in the German Touring Car Championship. People trying to swing out to the outside didn't quite make it. We're heading into the first turn, which is not quite as sharp as last year. Van Omen gets the jump ahead of Schneider as they head toward the anthill corner, but Schneider is on the inside, Van Omen on the outside. It's a hard right-hander. That is Manuel Reuter in the Opel running third right now, and Schneider gets the lead. Bernd Schneider in front of Jörg Van Omen, and Manuel Reuter in the Opel is running third. So Opel right up front here at the beginning of the season. They stretch out through the fastest part of the course. They now have a bending right-hander, which will take them back into the infield in front of this huge crowd here at Hockenheim today. It's definitely a record crowd, and you can see all the flags as the partisan fans cheer on their favorite cars. This is the busy part of the course, as they make a left-hander here, swing out in a short straight, it bends a little, and then there will be another left-hander, which will bring them down to the straightaway in front of the big crowd. And then head toward the start-finish line. And Bernd Schneider is out in front on the first lap. Then comes Van Omen, then comes Reuter, and then comes Sandy Grau, one of the young drivers in a Zakspeed Mercedes. He's actually in his third year of racing. But now he's moved up to third. He got by Reuter. So one of the young members has moved up into the top group. Schneider in front. Van Omen is right behind him. Then comes Sandy Grau, and then Franchetti. Franchetti has moved up to fourth place. He has also passed Manuel Reuter. Behind Reuter is Stefano Modena in the first of the Alfa Romeos in the field today. Behind him, Christian Donner, it looks like. The cars sorting themselves out well here in the first race. But Schneider has controlled it since the start. Bernd Schneider, who certainly had his share of bad luck last year, is hoping that that bad luck has left him and that he can do much better this year. You're riding with Nicola Larini, a former champion. As he works his way through the field, he had his problems in qualifying. Certainly didn't expect to be this far back in the field. He's one of our in-camera cameras today. The onboard camera gives you a good view of the track here at Hockenheim. And there's your leader, Bernd Schneider. Van Omen right behind him. They're both driving Mercedes. They actually are teammates, but they're involved with two different teams. It gets a little complicated, but when it comes to racing, who's out in front is the one that wins. It doesn't matter which team you belong to. Sandy Grau is third, and right behind him is Franchetti. Then comes Reuter. Then comes Modena. And it looks like Kurt Thiem is trying to move up into the field here. You're back with Klaus Ludwig now, the defending champion. He started back in the field today. He's behind Uwe Alsen right there. Modena, and then Fisichella, one of the other young drivers for the Alfa Romeo team, is right behind Modena. So the young drivers who made such an impression in qualifying are right up front here in the opening moments of the first race of the day in the German Touring Car Championship at Hockenheim. And it looks like Franchetti would like to get by Sandy Grau. That's Kurt Thiem in the yellow Mercedes pulling out to try to get by Fisichella, and he gets by. So Kurt Thiem, who had real problems in qualifying and ended up 16th in the field starting today. Normally he's one of those who likes to start up front. Has had to fight his way through the field. And right now he's in 7th place, and ahead of him is Modena. Meanwhile, Bernd Schneider continues to roll here, and Van Oomen sticks right with him. But Grau and Franchetti are falling back just a little bit. Team gets inside Modena, trying to move up one more slot. There is the Opel of J.J. Lechto, a former Formula One driver, now in the German Touring Car Championship, and Modena's car is on the side of the track. What happened? Oh, as Kurt Team came by, they bumped going into the corner. And so Modena is going to be shoved back in the pack here. It looks like his car is still running. He'll come back out. But Kurt Team's car is still out there, but we don't know if anything happened to it or not. Now let's take a break with Speedy as we take a look at his notebook. This was the scene yesterday in the pit area when Keke Rosberg and Klaus Ludwig held an autograph session. The pair literally disappeared from view. It could bring fear to anyone's heart.
No, on the contrary, I mean, that's the enormous popularity of the Class 1 at the moment. I hope it goes international. I hope we can transfer this enthusiasm from Germany to the other countries as well. I think the cars are tremendous at the moment. They're fun to drive. They're very challenging for the engineers. I mean, we got Formula One technology in our cars. We got assistance from Williams, from Cosworth, people like that. Opel, really exhausting all the resources they have, and it's great stuff.
And Opel can hope that the cars run well here in the first race of the day at Hockenheim. And you can see that Manuel Reuter is making people happy. He's running 5th after 4 laps of racing. In this replay, watch the car of Kurt Team. Watch that hood. After the bump, the hood is loose, and it just simply flies away. Kurt Team is going to have to come into the pits. And there he is. He came into the pits. They put a new hood on, but now Kurt was way back in the field. Meanwhile, Bernd Schneider simply continues to dominate here at Hockenheim. Van Oomen is behind him, not challenging. Then comes Sandy Grau, then comes Franchitti, then comes the Opel of Manuel Reuter. They come up that slight bend. That right there is the fastest point, that corner where they're coming around right there. After that, it's an uphill and then a right-hander that takes him back out again in front of this huge crowd at Hockenheim. There's Fisichella. And it looks like that right behind him is Jan Magnussen, another of the young drivers. And Franchetti is making the move on Sandy Grau. Franchetti gets inside of Grau and by him. Dario Franchetti, who had been on the pole position, had dropped back, is now 3rd. And there is Gert Ruch. That's not a Mustang as he's driven in the past few years. This year he's driving for Mercedes. Right now he's got a problem. Spun out. He'll get back on the course. And this Dario Franchetti. Then comes Sandy Grau, 2 of the stars to be in the German Touring Car Championship. And now a German Touring Car pit stop profile. This is the year of the young driver in the series. Scotland's Dario Franchitti, 21 years old. Then there's Denmark's Jan Magnussen, also 21 years old. And Germany's Sandy Grau, 22 years old, but this is his 3rd year in the series. This is quite a change for the German Touring Car Championship, which in previous years had relied on the veterans. They were the ones that drove in the touring cars.
It is a trend, and I'm really satisfied with the performance. They still have to learn a lot, but they are really, really fast guys, and they are really nice guys. And Grau and Franchitti and Jan Magnussen, all the 3 of them, they are very equal and doing a fantastic job.
Alfa Romeo also has a young driver, Giancarlo Fisichella. He's 22 years old.
We can say these new guys have no pressure at the moment on shoulders. They have no bad feeling about nothing. They are discovering some of them are discovering the competition. And we must say also that all guys are sometimes with brand new cars, and they don't have any time, and they didn't have any time again to recover a very good potential on the car because they are too late.
We knew they were very good because they proved in the junior formulas to be front runners. So I see no reason, if a driver is talented, why he should not be competitive in the DTM. But to take pole position, for example, in his first ever outing in a DTM car is very, very good.
The young generation is moving into the series, which will make life tough for the veterans, but also more exciting for the fans. This has been a German Touring Car Pit Stop Profile. This is one of the veterans, Bernd Schneider, and he is out in front. Stefano Modena takes his Alfa Romeo into the pits. You'll remember he had that collision with Kurt Team. Franchitti, you just saw going by alone in third. There's Sandy Grau's car. It's in the pits. They're changing tires. And now let's go to Stefano Modena from Alfa Romeo.
Well, the problem first of all was that a yellow car came behind me after the fast corner on the back of the circuit and just hit me and spun me up. I don't know who was. I think it was Kurt Tim, but I'm not sure. I can't see the name on the back. And then I restart. I rejoined the race. I lost all the position because the marshal couldn't let me go. And nothing. Just now I stopped because the engine wouldn't. I mean, I don't know what's the problem, but the car won't go anymore. So I had to stop.
So a tough day already for Alfa Romeo and Stefano Modena. He won't even probably be ready for the second race of the day. There are your standings. Bernd Schneider has led from the start. Manuel Reuter is running fourth for Opel. Back to racing at Hockenheim. This is Milt Fitzwater reporting as the German Touring Car Championship opens up its season. You're looking at Manuel Reuter, whose car is running extremely well here with a few laps to go. This is a German touring car pit stop profile. Scotland's Dario Franchitti surprised everyone in the series debut by taking the pole position. He comes to the series after driving Formula cars, which could have led to a Formula One career.
The main sort of reason for the choice, I guess, was the fact it was Mercedes-Benz inviting me to drive one of their cars. I thought, I have to do it really. It would have been an easy decision had I had nothing lined up for this year, but I was very close to doing a deal with Paul Stewart Racing again for one more season in Formula 3. But in the end, I chose the DTM.
He's had to make some adjustments to driving in the touring cars. It's a difficult situation. He has to learn about the cars, and yet he wants to do well.
Yeah, it's quite difficult because, you have to learn, and they say, well, you're only a young driver, so don't expect too much. But, I think there's a lot of pressure, not so much from Mercedes, but from outside, they expect you to do well.
He's off to a fast start in the series, and he does have expectations.
A reasonable goal for this weekend, I would say, would be a top 5 would be a very good goal for me this weekend. But I myself set the goal, really. I'm in a lucky position where Mercedes are not putting any pressure on, which is very nice, and it's an unusual situation for a racing driver.
Dario Franchitti is one of the new young drivers in the series who's already proving he belongs. This has been a German touring car pit stop profile. You're riding now with Nicola Larini. He's back in around 11th spot. He's chasing right now Uwe Alsen. Larini has not had the strongest car here in the field. It looks like he's going to be happy to pace it and bring it home and see if he can maybe pick up points for 10th place. Going into the pits with just a couple of laps left, Kurt Team. Boy, has he had a tough race weekend so far. Tough qualifying and then problems here in the first race. But this man has had absolutely no problem. Bernd Schneider continues to lead as the laps count down. But you have to wonder about the day for Kurt Team. He has to park it with just a couple of laps to go. You have to wonder why he brought it in.
Yeah, okay, the start was very good for me. And then I started with a brake problem. My brake pedal got longer and longer. At the same time, I was coming with my foot on the power pedal. And then sometime I missed the braking point in the corner, and it get more and more dangerous for me to throw the car out. And then I decided to stop and then prepare the car 100% for second race. And then must try to take the maximum out for second race.
This is Franchitti. While Kurt was talking, Franchitti took a shortcut. He was able to save the car just before the tires. And here comes Manuel Reuter. With one lap to go, can you believe it? He's bringing his Opel into the pits. What a disappointment, running so well and then bringing it in. Meanwhile, Bernd Schneider is the third one in this particular pack. You're looking at Uwe Alsen in the green car. And behind him is Larini, and then comes Bernd Schneider. Larini gets by Alsen. Schneider content to bring the car home and pick up the checkered flag. Bernd Schneider, he has won here twice before in the spring races. In fact, it was a double win back in 1993. Now he's looking for his third victory in the opening event of the season at Hockenheim. And right now, there is nothing to stop him. There he is, the man who's about to pick up the first victory of the 1995 season. Bernd Schneider in an AMG Mercedes. He wins it. what a great comeback after a tough year last year. Bernd Schneider picks up the victory. Van Omen is second, and Franchitti is third. But the man who really has to be pleased is Mercedes team manager Norbert Haug.
I'm absolutely happy. I mean, it's a dream, and all the new cars are did the race. Team hit somebody at the start, but all the other new cars were really fast, and they're all finished. That's fantastic.
And there's the man who led them all, Bernd Schneider. The German makes his home in Monte Carlo, 31 years old. It's his 10th career victory in the series. A great day.
This time was pretty good. I'm happy with the result. Even in the race, everything was running perfect, and I hope it's continue in the second race.
There are your standings: Schneider, Van Omen, Franchitti, Magnussen, and Ludwig. What a surprise, and yet what a great race. Two young drivers, Franchitti and Magnussen, third and fourth. But then there's Van Omen with a great day.
I was not pushing all the time, of course, because I saw that my teammate Franchitti was 4 seconds behind me, and so I just tried to keep that distance. And I think that was the best way to finish the race, because I felt that Bernd was, for me today, unbeatable. He was better than me, and maybe next time I am better.
Not a bad start at all, really.
It was okay until I made a mistake. I went a bit wide on the fast corner at the back, and I went over the grass, and I came inches from hitting the tyre wall. So I came off the brakes just in time and turned the car. It was desperation more than anything else, I think. Everything was fine until I made this mistake.
And the team that had problems today, Alfa Romeo, with the exception of one.
Fisichella, a car is a semi-hazard driver. If Fisichella is arrived 6, it's only because Fisichella is very fast.
So now it's the mechanics' turn to go to work here between races. They can do just about everything except add gasoline. And we'll be back for the second race of the day in the German Touring Car Championship at Hockenheim in just a moment. You're riding with Bernd Schneider on the pace lap as we're about ready to get underway in the second race of the day in the German Touring Car Championship season opening weekend at the Hockenheim Motordrome in Hockenheim, Germany. This is Milt Fitzwater reporting. There are some of the fireworks and smoke bombs that are dropped by the fans all the time. Kind of fills up the whole arena here. It's a tradition at Hockenheim. Yellow, of course, for Opel. Other for red. They have all kinds of that go off here. Fireworks seem to be a tradition here. Ready to go. Second race. On the left is the first race winner, Bernd Schneider. On the right, Jörg Van Omen, the second place finisher. They're waiting for the green. There it is. Let's see who gets the jump. A good start. The cars are spread out well, trying to find racing room. Meanwhile, it's Schneider who seems to have the lead going into the first corner, and Van Omen is going to have to drop in behind him. Everybody else goes through the first corner. One car is spinning and is out. The other car seems to be rolling. We'll have to get a look at that in a moment. Oh, it's Franchitti. Dario Franchitti, involved in a first corner wreck here in the second race of the day. What a tough break, although a great start for him in the German Touring Car Championship with a third in the first race. Bernd Schneider once again in the lead. Once again, Van Omen is second. And this is Fisichella. He's coming in. There's smoke coming out of that right side. Evidently, he was involved in that bump with Franchitti, and the metal is running up against the tires. Cars sorting themselves out here in the first lap as, look at that, Schneider already with a lead ahead of Van Omen. Bernd Schneider's auto is just super here. He is running strong. Meanwhile, Fisichella is still running strong, and it looks like Keke Rosberg is going to bring his Opel in. He was on the inside lane headed toward the pit entrance. Schneider, then Van Omen. Magnussen is running third. Then comes Klaus Ludwig, who finished fifth in the first race, is running fourth here in the second race. J.J. Lato is also up there, and there comes Nicola Larini. Larini also up with the top teams here in the second race of the day. So Opel is mixing in there, except for this man, Keke Rosberg. He brings his car into the pits. There are some problems here for Keke. His teammate, Klaus Ludwig, is having a great day and is running well. So the team can actually be quite happy, even though they had some problems with Keke's car. Cars continue to sort themselves out here for this huge crowd. Let's take a look at what happened. Franchitti is bumped from behind. Franchitti then himself runs into Christian Danner. Tough way to start the race.
I started in second gear, which I was told to do, but the revs were a bit too low. I got crowded at the start, and some guy just drove into me. There was a contact all the way up here. Someone hit me in the back and spun me around. So that's the way it goes.
But he's had a great start here in the series, and people certainly know his name by now. The leaders sorting themselves out once again, but Bernd Schneider, his Mercedes, his AMG, is just super today. He's got a big lead already over Van Oomen. But look at Klaus Ludwig running fourth. Klaus Ludwig running a very strong fourth here. Behind him comes Larini, who had problems in the first race, and behind him, JJ Leto, and then Jan Magnussen, and then comes Sandy Grau behind him. But Klaus Ludwig holding up the colors of the new Team Rosberg Opel, taking with his own team this year.
I was quite proud that we both finished with Klaus in the first race for the new team. So that was good, you know, we were the two best Opels too, so didn't really have to be ashamed of anything. And second race in the start, I had no power steering, so I don't know what happened. We're trying to find out now.
Here's a battle back in the 7th, 8th, and 9th spot. That is Ellen Lohr, followed by Sandy Grau, and then Uwe Alsen. Battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th slot here in the second race of the day in the series at Hockenheim. Ellen Lohr pulls out a little bit ahead of Sandy Grau as they head back toward the start-finish line now. Grau pulling up into the corner. This was the track that Ellen won on back in 1992. Her one victory in the series. Right now she's having her hands full, holding off Sandy Grau. And Grau moves inside. Is he going to make it by in the anthill curve? He does. Sandy Grau moves up into 7th place. Ellen is not giving up. She's right up on his bumper as they head to the fastest part of the course, this left-hander. There are your standings in the German Touring Car Championship, second race of the day at Hockenheim. Here's a battle of teammates as lap 9 comes up. Jorg Van Oomen and the young Dane, Jan Magnussen. They're running second and third here in the second race of the day at Hockenheim in the German Touring Car Championship. Van Oomen finished second in the first race of the day, so he's in a good shape here. This is Larini, and he's pulling off the course. Nicola Larini just continues to add to the bad day for Alfa Romeo. A tough day for Giorgio Pianta and company. The car is just not quite up to finishing. And here comes an Opel. This is Yannick Dalmas, and he certainly has taken care of the engine in that car. So another Opel is on the sidelines. This man just continues to roll. Bernd Schneider. He led every lap in the first race, and he has led every lap here in the second race so far. He's out in front by himself. Nobody is bothering him. He just is continually doing his job, taking the car through lap after lap. Sounds easy, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Bernd Schneider just having a great day. And if he can pull off this double victory, he will be only the second driver to pull off a double victory here on the short course at Hockenheim, and he'll have a tremendous jump in the points race. He'll have his victories and he'll have some points, so Bernd couldn't have a better day, but it's still a long way to go yet before this second race is over with. Behind him, there comes Jorg Van Oomen and Jan Magnussen. Van Oomen finished second in the points last year. There's Klaus Ludwig, your defending champion in the new Opel. He is probably content to sit back and not push the car too hard and be happy with a fourth place finish if he can get it, and maybe push the car a little bit later on. And now let's take another look at Speedy's notebook. Finnish driver JJ Lehto is making his debut in the Touring Car Series this year. It was at the last race of the season here at Hockenheim that we caught up with him and asked him if he would ever think about driving touring cars. Well, his answer at that time was the series was for old men. Now the 29-year-old Lehto is with the old men.
Yeah, I'm getting older. No, it's. I mean, I'm the youngest driver in Opel team, and And I mean, if I stay here, I have a long career because Keke and all those guys, they are 45 years old and I'm 29 at the moment, so I can drive many, many years here. But, you know, it was really difficult after last year to make the decision what to do, and I think that this was a good choice to come to DTM. We were looking to IndyCars as well, but there was nothing really good available. And you never know, I might be doing IndyCars later on in the future, and I would like to go to States as well, just to see how it is. But at the moment we are concentrating on this one and just to see how it goes.
And there is another newcomer, Michele Alboreto in the Alfa Romeo. He's being challenged by the Opel of Manuel Reuter. Now, Alboreto has driven in Formula One a number of years, so it's been a little bit of more of adjustment for him than some of the others. He's been so used to Formula One that he gets into the touring cars, and there were some changes for him. And right now, he's being challenged by Manuel Reuter. And so this will be a good test for Michele Alboreto here at Hockenheim. And Reuter goes outside, but he still is not getting by. Alboreto holds him off. Michele, as they head into what's called the anthill curve, because there's a lot of anthills around that guardrail. And still Reuter is challenging here. Coming up to the fastest part of the course, the sharp left-hander. Up the hill they go, and then they have to head around the right-hander back toward the huge stadium area. And Reuter continues to challenge. And we have two cars off. That's Magnussen in the far side, and this is Gert Ruck in the blue Mercedes. They must have collided going into that corner. Magnussen is climbing out of his car, so his day is over. Ruck seems to have gotten his Mercedes running, so he is still going. Meanwhile, other cars coming by now, and will continue to lap Gert Ruck, but the car is rolling. Ruck very popular with the fans after years of driving the Ford Mustang. There are your standings in the German Touring Car Championship at Hockenheim. Back to racing in the German Touring Car Championship at Hockenheim. This is Milt Fitzwater reporting. Second race of the day in the first race weekend of the new season. Bernd Schneider just continues to roll up the laps. Jorg van Omen now alone in second. His teammate having been involved in a collision with Gert Ruck. His car parked on the side of the course. Fisichella continues to run well, and there is Klaus Ludwig. Ludwig is running third. This could be a great day for the Opel crew if Ludwig can bring that car in third. The other Opels have had their share of problems, but the three-time champion in the German Touring Car Championship looks like he's got the handle on the car, and he now just has to bring it home. He gets by Fisichella and then leaves him behind. Fisichella was involved in that altercation in the first lap, and so he's dropped back a little bit here in the second race. Klaus Ludwig continues also to roll up the laps here, looking to bring home a great day for Opel with a third place finish. Be a great stop. Right behind them, the third car back, Marco Alain, the rally driver, with a car that's advertising the race for Helsinki. And now a German touring car pit stop. This was the scene in Berlin last season. John Winter's Opel hit the guardrail and the car burst into flames. Winter was okay, but the touring car officials knew some changes had to be made in the gas tanks.
Motorsport, we have to look care of everything, and we had a big accident in Berlin, and the car was burning, and for that reason we changed the technical regulations for the tank and for the volume of the tank.
So the teams went to work to resituate the tanks to make the cars safer.
We have three. We have two located under the rear seats, where normally the rear seats are. So they are very safe position. And there is a third one still in the boot, but also in between the wheels. So all the fuel now is located in a very safe place. We think this is solved this problem.
So this season, officials hope that the changes in the gas tank placement will mean safer racing in the series. This has been a German touring car pit stop. And there's JJ Lechto in an Opel. Now he is driving very well. He's running fourth right now behind Klaus Ludwig. In his first drive in a touring car, this former Formula One star certainly having a great day bringing that car home. He's had to make some adjustments, just like all the other drivers, but he seems to have done it better than most. And he also has a car that's running very strong here in the late stages of this second race. And he certainly has a lot of support in the fans. When you look up into the stands, you see a lot of those yellow and white flags. Everyone in Germany says the most loyal fans in German racing, the Opel fans. There's Ellen Lohr's car. She's parked on the side. Let's see what happened. Oh, it looks like she was bumped by Manuel Reuter and went off the course into the gravel, and it looks like her day may be over with. Let's take another look at it. He bumps her and she slides. She doesn't get up in the gravel. She should be able to continue here if she can get to keep the car going, but Manuel Reuter's car then had to be pushed into the garage. His day was over.
We were not lucky here in both races, and in the second heat I touched Ellen a little bit because he was sliding a lot, and I was trying 3 times before. And okay, in the Sachs corner I tried it the last time and I touched her and I damaged also my front right water cooler. Okay, it was 50-50. That's life.
Here's the other man who's singing that song, That's Life, Bernd Schneider. It's amazing how that car's rolling today. Bernd, all by himself since the start of the race. He lost out on the actual pole position by 1/100 of a second. Oh, he lost it there. And he gets across the grass. What's going to happen here? He holds on, keeps control. Well, when everything's going your way, nothing can go wrong, even in situations that look bad anyway. Bernd Schneider keeps the lead after probably surprising himself and certainly the team back in the pits. Some heart stop back there for a moment. Schneider continues to roll, gets a little wobbly coming around. Have to wait and see if there was any damage to the cars. He got out in the grass there. It looked like he got high in the corner, up in the loose stuff, and went off. And there are your standings in the German Touring Car Championship, Hockenheim Motordrome. You're riding with Klaus Ludwig here as the second race of the day in the German Touring Car Championship at Hockenheim nears its end. He is chasing Ellen Lohr right now. He has to get by her, so at least if something happens up front, he can get a chance. He's actually trying to put a lap on Ellen. They were teammates last year for Mercedes. This year, they're fighting against each other as Ludwig is in the Team Rosberg Opel. There's the schedule coming up. After Hockenheim, it's off to Berlin, then to Italy, Finland, back to Germany, and then to Great Britain. You can see the international scope of this. Then comes Germany, Portugal, back to Germany, France, and then the last 2 races of the season will be held in Germany. Long season ahead, but a lot of travel, and this is now becoming one of the true international touring car events in Europe. Ludwig still trying to get by Ellen Lohr here. Makes the move heading up toward the anthill. He is by. Lohr cuts inside and hells him off as they head back down toward the little S turn here. Ludwig still in there. They come down the fastest part of the course. Ludwig is on the inside and he's going to get by. Ellen lets him by as they head up the hill again. Ellen braking a little bit there, too much, locked him up. Head back into the stadium area. Ellen sliding a little bit there, coming around as they head into the stadium area before all the fans. Ellen, a great popular driver among all the fans. And she either locks them up or they lock up on their own. She goes into the gravel and it looks like her day is over with. Ellen Lohr's day. There you get a look at her in that huge crowd. Her day is over in the second race. Now let's go back to Speedy's notebook. One of the changes Formula drivers have to make when they race in touring cars is using the curves. It can be a quite difficult change for them.
Yeah, because in Formula 3 and when I tested the Formula 1, you never ever hit the curves. Or some, but not the big ones. And these things you seem to aim for every curve there's on the track. So it didn't take very long. They handled good over the bumps, even though it's fairly big ones.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. It was last time in 1988 when I drove Formula 3, you know, I jumped over the curve, so it's quite a long time ago. And it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. Also to set up the car, you know, in your way, you know, to drive it, it's a little bit difficult. And there's a lot of things you can change, but, you know, it's hard work to find the optimal setup for the car.
This man here has had absolutely no problem with the setup at all. He just keeps rolling. Bernd Schneider. get a good look as we head into the grandstand area. You can see the thousands of fans to the right here as he heads down into the corner called the Sachs Curve. He cuts back across that same grandstand area, heading toward the start-finish line area. You can see the grandstands here as he swings around the final corner, a right-hander that takes him back to the start-finish line. And as you look, you can see the grandstand on the left. He comes by the pits on the right-hand side. When this place is full, this is where you can tell it's full by this area of the grandstand being crammed full like it is today. Bernd Schneider, one of the reasons all the fans have come to watch the German Touring Car Championship 1995. I don't think anyone expected that Bernd Schneider in this AMG Mercedes would be quite as dominant as it has been. Next stop on the tour, Berlin, a city course. Promises to be a tough one. It's a very fast course, about 1.5 miles long, and there's always some surprises in Berlin. Actually, this series has become so international, it's almost unbelievable a few years ago to think that so many races would be run outside of Germany as they're going to be run this year. New races in Portugal, in Helsinki. A few years ago, no one would have thought about it. But this year, the German Touring Car Championship has gone international. And this is another example of it. This is a car sponsored by the Helsinki organizers. This is Marco Elaine, the rally driver, gaining experience so that he can run in Helsinki.
Well, yes, that's big help, in street circuiting like in Helsinki is so difficult, Now I'm having experience here and learning.
What's amazing is that race is now already sold out.
Yeah, that's really fantastic, In first time is coming also very big, like DTM show, and also, our rally in Thousand Lakes also, is coming 500,000 people in 3 days. But now in DTM in June is something 80,000. That's incredible.
What also seems incredible to the rest of the competition is the dominance of Bernd Schneider. He just continues to roll along here in Hockenheim. This track belongs to him on this particular weekend, and there he is. He has led every single lap today in both races, and we only have a couple more to go. Bernd can't do anything wrong, as we saw earlier when he went off on the grass and still kept control of the car, brought it home, and had no problems. There are your standings. Jörg Van Omen second, then Ludwig Lechto and team. We're down to the final lap of racing of the day here in the first race weekend of the year in the German Touring Car Championship, starting off here in Hockenheim. And this man will go home celebrating. That's all you can say. Bernd Schneider dominated the racing here at Hockenheim. He will become the first two-time double winner in the opening event of the season on the short track at Hockenheim. An unbelievable day for Bernd Schneider and for the AMG Mercedes team, whose car was well prepared, ready to go, and looks like it has a jump on the rest of the field here. Bernd Schneider, your winner. Followed by Jörg Van Omen, Klaus Ludwig, JJ Lechto, and Kurt Thiem. But Schneider is the man that certainly has to be happy. It's his 11th career win in the series.
I hope to continue like this. And I was thinking this year, my mind is a bit changed because I would like to take points, not always even wins. That means now I got my 2 wins. Next time I won't take points.
Well, he's collected enough points already. He certainly is up by 10 on Jörg Van Omen, although that is not a lot with 20 points going to the victor. But Omen had a good day.
For me, this day was a great day because I was a bit fearful after the winter break. How is it in the new team with the new mechanics and all the new people that I have to work with now, and with a new tire manufacturer as well? And I think I changed the team in the right point, because when I saw now today at Sachs-Speed, I think AMG was much more competitive. I think there was one reason was of course the tire, and I think we, especially Bridgestone, did a very good job. I hope we continue like this, then we become champion, I think. Yeah?
And Opel can certainly also be happy, thanks to Klaus Ludwig and his great driving. Former champ did Opel proud.
Yeah, everything lasted very well and the car ran beautiful. I must say, more and more I start to love the Calibra.
All right, you look like you really have been working awfully hard out there today. Was it a little bit extra today or a little bit hotter or what?
It was very hot, and I used the full face helmet because I think the other one is unsafe. So and the ventilation, we need to work on that. But nevertheless, I think Michelin has done a great job. Tires stayed well, and the whole team, a fantastic team effort.
And that does it for the racing today here at Hockenheim. The next stop on the tour, the street course in the city of Berlin. Hope you enjoyed the racing today. See you in Berlin.